So, Chris, so great to chat with you today. We're here to talk about your partnership with Jinx. We know that you have the cutest pup Dodger. Can you talk a bit about why partnering with Jinx was the right move for you?
Sure. Well, I'm always looking for these sorts of partnerships, things that just don't mean something to me personally, but also with people that have um, good intentions. The mission statement aligns with something I want to be involved with. So it's not only something that I would use in my life with Dodger, but the idea of giving people easier access to good nutrition for their dogs just made sense to me. I know there's a real proliferation of fancy, healthy dog food, but a lot of it's really expensive, and it shouldn't just be rich dogs that eat well.
And Dodger is too cute, and it's International Mutt Day. Can you talk about your bond with your pup and why having a dog is so rewarding?
Sure. Um, God, where to begin? I couldn't imagine my life without a dog, specifically Dodger. There's just a real purity and innocence. There's sincerity to it. I've said a couple times today that, Dodger has no idea that I'm an actor. He loves me for me. There's such sincerity to that relationship, and he's so present. I said earlier, I think most times we struggle and suffer as people because our brains are noisy places, and we worry about the past, we worry about the future, whereas Dodger is just living today. And in times when I'm having a particularly noisy day, just connecting with him washes all that stress away. And you remember the best way to move through the world, which is acknowledging all you have is this moment.
And you also have a loving dog mom in your life. How did you know that she was the one?
God, good question. I mean, loving dogs is a huge part of it. And she's as big of an animal lover as I am. Um, I knew she was the one pretty early on, even before she met Dodger.
I love to hear that. And I was going to say also that it seems like they get along really well based off the photos that she shared on social media. What's it been like to see Dodger and her together? I know that must be such a special bond to see.
Yeah. Well, like I said, she's a big dog lover. So her love for Dodger was just present right from the start. But watching his love for her grow, in the beginning, Dodger's really possessive of me. So whether it's, Alba or whether it's, my buddies, family, anyone else that, takes some of my time and attention, Dodger finds a weird competitive vibe with because he wants me all to himself. Now he follows her around the house. And now I'm trying to elbow my way in there, and it's really, really sweet. He's very perceptive to her moods, I've noticed. It's a beautiful thing. If she's having a rough day, if she's sad or just drained, he just follows her. It's really a beautiful um, instinct that he's incredibly perceptive when it comes to her.
I was also going to ask, do you have any is there anything new and upcoming with Jinx that you could talk about?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're doing a partnership with Walmart that starts in August. A certain percentage of all Jinx products will go to the USO Canine unit, which is one of the reasons I really love this partnership in general. It's not just giving dogs great nutrition. It's not just trying to create longer relationships with our pets, but it's giving back.
And I know that you adopted Dodger. I also adopted my dog. Why do you think adoption is the way to go with pups?
Because there's so many dogs that need a home. Anytime you walk into a shelter, it breaks your heart that you can't take them all home with you. A lot of those dogs have had some tough times, and there's a certain appreciation that you can feel. Um, I mean, even adopting a slightly older dog, I think a lot of times adult dogs get overlooked, and that's fine. If you want to go the puppy route, great. But Dodger, I always thought my first dog when I moved out of the house when I was 18 was a puppy. And I just always assumed that would be the path I would take. And then adopting Dodger wasn't a plan. We were filming a movie in Savannah that filmed at a shelter, and I just saw him and I knew, but he was a full-grown dog, and I just thought, all right, this is not what I assumed would happen. And now, I don't know. I think that may be the way I operate moving forward. There's just something so special about giving a dog a chance that might not have the best odds at getting adopted.
Now, I know you briefly mentioned this, but could you touch on how the brand is helping people access high quality pet food at an affordable price? Because that is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see when you turn on the TV today, there is a proliferation rather of fancy dog food to give dogs great nutrition, and that's something everybody wants. But unfortunately, it's pricey. And I've said a few times today, it shouldn't only be rich dogs that eat well. So the fact that they've found a way to thread the needle of giving dogs a high quality kibble with great ingredients at a price that won't break the bank. That makes sense to me. It just makes me proud to be a part of the company.
Now, I do have to ask before we go, you had an epic cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. What was it like getting to reprise that role and reconnecting with Ryan and Hugh on screen?
Yeah, it was incredible. Anytime Ryan calls, I'll answer the phone. But getting to play Johnny Storm again was a dream. I didn't realize how much I was going to love it. I was excited to do it. I loved that role. It was not just a role that I connected with at the time, but it was a chapter of my life that was special. It was, a big turning point in my career. But putting the suit back on and saying "Flame on" again, it got me a little emotional. It was something I'll be forever grateful for.
And you've had so many iconic roles over the years. Is there any other role you'd want to reprise again if that presented itself?
uh, God, I don't know. I don't think so. A lot of those roles were special at the time, and it's not easy to revisit things. It's got to be done the right way, and that's the beauty of Ryan. He knows how to do those things in a very tongue-in-cheek way that lets you color outside the lines, but it still works. So this one felt safe in Ryan's hands.